Well, I want to show you guys. This is kind of one of my favorite advanced kicking challenges today, and this is one I think that we haven't talked about or shown anybody for a long time. One of the things I love about this video series that we're putting together is that we just got all kinds of stuff on there that we can't do in the classroom, or it's not currently part of the curriculum. Whatever, that doesn't mean that it isn't valuable or cool stuff. So check this out. The combination is spin crescent, spin hook without putting your leg down. All right? Spin crescent, spin hook without putting your leg down. So I'm going to come around, throw my crescent. As it comes down, I keep momentum, come around, throw the hook. Actually, I'm pretty proud of myself what I just did there. Doing it slow is quite a bit harder than doing it fast. I'm going to probably lower you guys a little bit here so you can just see this a bit better. A bit better. Let's bring you over here. We're going to go a little bit lower because I want you to see some of the footwork involved. So, or at least the lower leg work involved. So I'm here, crescent, and then hook. And I like the challenge because you really have to show a distinction between your crescent and your hook. And a lot of times people kind of blend those, or they can do one really well and not the other. All right? But I want you guys to be good at both. So the first time you come around, I'm going to turn, I'm going to lift. And we've talked about this on the spin crescent, that as my upper body comes around, you see my shoulders have turned almost all the way back around 360. My hips are a little bit less than the shoulders, and my leg is definitely lagging behind so that I can unwrap for that crescent. On the crescent, any kind of crescent, you imagine there's like a pole. There's like a pole going through the top of your head and sticking down through your spine and into the ground. And so that pole, just, you are straight up and down on there like a pony on a carousel, and you can turn, but you can't lean or tilt one way or the other. So on your crescent kick, that's how you want to think about yourself. You got that pole right there. You turn, your leg lags behind your shoulder and your hip, and then it unwraps in this big dragon tail whoosh, swooshing kind of a motion. Okay, so that's your spin crescent. Now as you come around for your spin hook, and we can kind of work on these separately, right? So as you come around for your spin hook, it's really different because there is going to be a little body lean, and you're going to chamber up right away. So as I come around, my knee comes high right away. With my crescent, I kept my leg low until I had rotated way farther, right? But on the hook, I'm here, I bring my knee high right away, and then while my hip is still sideways, so before I open up to you at all, I'm going to reach over to this corner, and then I'm going to sweep the bottles off the table. So very, very different. We don't want to conflate those. We don't want to get a crescent that looks like a hook or a hook that looks like a crescent. We want to be able to show the difference. So as I come around for the combination, and I show crescent hook, right, that the one swoops around in a big circle, and the second one clears, more of a snapping from the knee, clears the bottles off the table. So that I'm thinking of the hip generating, really, I guess if we're going to be accurate, the hip is going to generate most of the power in both kicks, but slightly more in the crescent, and then the hook is going to rely more on the knee snap and the extension there. Right? So as I come around for the crescent, I'm up, I unwrap it. As I swing this down, I gather momentum again for the second kick. So let's talk a little bit more about how to put these together, because if you pull this off in your line drill or something, it's going to look really sweet. I think not even the demo team really has been coached in this. This is kind of new for all you guys. But as I come around on the crescent, I throw it, and I want to like pull this down now with some momentum. And then I also have to bring it up and snap back out the hook. So it's like the when to straighten and when to bend the leg. That's going to be key in figuring this out. So not only does this look awesome, but it's a really good way to work on sort of differentiating two moves that do get blended quite a bit. I think another drill like that is like your side kick, round kick combination, where if somebody is throwing a side and then around and they look totally different like they should, well, that says they've got some skill in those kicks. But if they come up and they kind of do two things that look like that, it's like, well, we can't really tell what either one of those is. They both sort of look like a blend of the two. So let's look at a mistake. Like, what would it look like if you kind of went in between? You know, I come around on my crescent, I raise it up too soon, and then it kind of flattens out, and it's like, hey, was that a hook or a crescent? You really should be able to either have the circle or the straight line. Height isn't particularly important on this. Like, I could come around and throw that first one belt level and throw the second one also belt level and still show, I could still show a nice distinction between the two. Start by working on doing this without, or with the touch on the floor, kind of in between kicks, if that makes sense, right? Like you want to, boy, getting some interesting glares in here, aren't I? But throw the spin crescent, set it down, and then throw a hook, and then do it again. Throw the crescent, set it down, throw the hook. You want to be able to set down exactly where you pick back up again. And that's kind of getting into a different drill, but maybe an intermediate step in this is you take a piece of tape and you set like a piece of tape on the ground in one spot. I'll just use, I don't know if you guys can see this, like I'll just use this little twig of straw here, and I put that there, and I put my foot right next to it, and I come around doing that crescent, boom, and I set my foot back down, and then I just know, hey, is my foot close to that spot? Now ultimately you'd like to be able to hit that spot every time, and if you can do that well, then you do the same thing with your hook, and then it actually won't be that hard to go one and then right into the other without putting your foot down. I know it sounds really hard, but if you're really good at both, you put them together, it's pretty fun, and it sure does look nice. So I'd like to see at the school somebody come show me that you put that together. All right, good job.